Hey everybody out there, today for you guys we are going to be profiling a
Lair of Darkness.
Yeah, I didn't know what name to call it. There could be many names you could call it, but I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a pretty cool deck and for the new meta. So go ahead, man. Let's profile it.
So you got your standard Darkest Diablos, Lord of the Lairs, tribute. If you tribute a dark monster you control, you can special summon him. We got 3 of those. We got Duke Shade. Again, you can tribute stuff. If you tribute it, Darkest Diablos comes out. I'll explain some of the other cards I use to get Duke Shade out much faster. Adima, he's a searcher so I have several searchers for Lair of Darkness. 3 Adima, Wicked Wardens, 2 Terraformings. Adima also, of course, you can tribute. So the common thing is you bring out Adima, you tribute another dark monster, you add Darkest Diablos to your hand, and then you can immediately special summon him by Darkest Diablos' effect. So I have 3 Adimas, these, Lair of Darkness, as usual, you tribute a dark monster your opponent controls. The most common thing using this is your opponent cannot activate any monster effects to save that monster that's being tributed. So if I'm tributing Machaba, who's currently a dark by Lair of Darkness, he can't use his effect to negate. He's simply gone from the field forever. Super Polarization, which allows me to, so for this, since they're all dark, I can use it to bring out Starving Venom, or with Doom Virus or any other fusion, I bring out Dragos Tapelia, which both knock out decks.
Excuse me, sir. Do you happen to have 3 white seals?
So I have Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial to send Darkest Diablos to the graveyard. Same thing for Armageddon. These Fiend Sanctuaries, they literally, no cost, they're not like scapegoats, so you can continue summoning your monsters. I can special summon this token, use any of my tribute effects, Darkest Diablos comes out. Hooray there. Enemy Controller. Either I can put my opponent's monster in defense position, or I can tribute one of their monsters, take control of it. Or again, tribute one of my own, bring out, or take control, Darkest Diablos. Darkest Diablos is everywhere. Monster Gate, again, Lair of Darkness, tribute their monster, or tribute my own. I guess send until I get a good dark monster special summon. Goats. Goats is always good. Since unfortunately it's limited now, but Goats can allow me to go into Link Haribos, these, and then I can go straight into one of the big guys. Lilith to allow me to search for the viruses. Definitely 3 Liliths, or I can actually bring out another spicy card, which is at the very end. So Crush Card Virus with Fang of Critias, standard stuff to bring out Doom Virus Dragon. Eradicator Epidemic Virus. I have 2 currently in the main deck. There is a 3rd in my side deck. These, of course, will destroy your good old Sky Strikers or Altergeist or anything that definitely relies on spells and traps. Then there's Grinning Grave Virus. This one is from the newer Lair of Darkness structure deck as well. What this card does is you tribute 1 monster with 3,000 or less attack. Then your opponent sends cards from their hand and or deck, so total, up to for every 500 that monster had. And then if your opponent had 2,000, or if the monster that was tributed had 2,000 or more attack, any monster your opponent draws for the next 3 turns is automatically sent to the graveyard. And any card that Grinning Grave sends to the graveyard, its effects cannot be activated during that turn. And then the last card that I have in here is Trickstar Reincarnation. One of my common lovely effects to apply is, during my first turn, if I can get out Darkest Diablos, I set Reincarnation, and I set out Grinning Grave. Of course, Sky Strikers, you want to go more for Eradicator Epidemic. So during my first turn, I would get Darkest Diablos out.
Take your time.
I know I'm flying.
I know, take your time. Try to make it 10 minutes if you can.
All right.
Combo or something.
Yeah. I'm showing them my combos. So first turn, I will get out Darkest Diablos effectively. So Lilith gets out one of these. Then I would. So during my opponent's first turn, I will activate Reincarnation first, and then chain Grinning Grave, or like I said, Sky Striker or Altergeist. I will chain Eradicator Epidemic Virus. I'll tribute Darkest Diablos, and then so with Grinning Grave, my opponent will then proceed to send 6 cards from their hand or deck to the graveyard. And then after that, if they have no hand, Reincarnation will just resolve without an effect. If they do still have a hand, they will banish their entire hand, draw the same number of cards, and then these, depending on which virus you activated, they will apply. So basically, you force your opponent to draw. Basically, they draw entire and use 6 cards, and then their hand is basically dead right in the water. So I'm sure you all possibly know by now, but the old Scapegoat combo. So during your opponent's end phase, you activate good old-fashioned Scapegoat. Get your 4 tokens.
You're really explaining what Scapegoat does?
I'm just doing the old combos. I don't know. I'm supposed to make this 10 minutes. I'm terrible at deck profiles.
YouTube money on Seto. You have to put that time.
So I have 4 tokens here.
Don't forget to tell them what attribute and type the tokens are.
They're all Earth. Level 1, 0/0 sheep tokens. Now here's actually also another great combo. If Darkest Diablos is in your graveyard, or it's in your hand, and you have Lair of Darkness out. So this card is in your graveyard. I'll first send 1 token to bring out Link Spider. Then I'll send another token out, or to the graveyard, to bring out Link Karibo. Then I would send Link Karibo and another token to the graveyard to bring out Proxy Dragon. And now, because Lair of Darkness is out, all of my monsters are currently dark. So I tribute the final Goat token to bring back out Link Karibo. Oh look, I just tributed a dark monster! Hi Darkest Diablos. And then right here I can either bring out Saryuja Skuldread, sending all 4, or one thing I'd like to do is tribute, or send the 3 to bring out Borreload. The one nice thing about Borreload in this deck is, so even though with Lair of Darkness out, you get to tribute you can tribute your opponent's monsters. With Borreload, if Darkest Diablos is in the graveyard, you can do Borreload, steal your opponent's monster, and then you can use all of the tribute effects you have to tribute their monster. Since you controlled that monster, Darkest Diablos gets to come out and say hello. Let's see, any other awesome combos we got going on? Also, actually, in my side deck, so yeah, my side deck, so Deck Devastation, kind of not that great anymore, but it holds up its own in certain circumstances. Waking the Dragon to bring out a Ultimate Falcon. The only reason I have Waking the Dragon is because, again, Lilith. You can tribute her, get your traps out. I have Uru out here because, for one thing, with the field spell, Uru gets to stay, and it's basically an enemy controller waiting to happen on your turn. You can tribute, and again, you can tribute your opponent's monster and then steal their monster. Monster Reborn, pretty standard. Full Force, it's kind of dead now with the Link monsters, but it can hold its own in some cases. Evenly Matched, kind of need more, but again, evenly matched, normal trap. I got a second enemy controller, Solemn Strike, and Tiamaton. It's dark, but it can also shut down basically extra deck zones. I have no clue what I'm on right now for minutes. Okay. So, let's see, anything else? So yeah, so with Super Polymerization, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, pretty standard for dark decks. And then, but if you had like Doom Virus Dragon out, you can use Super Polymerization instead to bring out Dragos Stapelia, which, if your opponent has a card that would negate Lair of Darkness, you can chain Dragos Stapelia to stop that effect. So then instead, your effect will still resolve successfully, and Dragos Stapelia just shuts out the decks. So, I think that's about it for this deck profile. Let's see how it performs tonight at Locals. Have a good evening.